to Genfanad. Last time, we made some swords. So many swords. Of all regular quality or worse. And we don't need this many swords. So we are going to sell them. We've got more than an inventory worth of regular quality bronze gladiator swords. I'm going to sell all these. Just sell all of these. Quick sell all. 360 gold. Absolutely not worth the amount of effort it took to make these. My goodness. And we do have a few more other bits and bobs in here. Like some low quality ingredients. And the rest of the swords. It's gonna take a third inventory here of swords. Tried to make a high quality. Used up all the bars. So here we are. Selling all of our failures. So all these. Yeah, low quality stuff's worth not much. And they're not worth combining into anything else either. These ones are only worth 9. Alright. Well, we'll get some coins out of our efforts, I guess. And we will obviously keep one of the swords, because they're still pretty good. Also sell these element cards. I mean, they're just pretty good. They could be a lot better. They could be a lot better. Well, anyways. We will make do with what we have here. And go take out our anger on all kinds of enemies. Train some combat here and all that. Let's get our setup here. We got our plate set still. That's working nicely. And luckily we got the high quality plate body and plate legs earlier. Because we do not have the bronze left to try to make one of those once we get the recipes. I think we might have the legs recipe already from somewhere. But it doesn't really matter. Fine either way. Got the necklace. And get out some food. Let's see how many free spaces we need here. Because we are after a different opponent this time. Recently, we got 16 attack with the little ice elementals off to the side, off to the east here. But they did not drop a huge amount besides coins and some water cards. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit and go fight some baby mosquitoes. This time, over a different direction. It says east. It's very much west. Directions. Definitely a whole thing. But they don't have a huge amount of drops. They've got a couple cards. They also do have bones, so just to make our lives easier, we're going to take less food. With any luck, we won't take much damage either way. We do have very solid equipment. As solid as it can be, defensive-wise, at least. Offensively, we can still do better with their regular quality sword. But that's not something we're going to worry about right now. It is what it is. We tried. And honestly, even at this point, the amount of time that we spent trying probably is more than the amount of time we would save with the better sword anyways. So going and mining another 1,000 bronze to try again to make the sword, not really worth it. Here's the baby mosquitoes. It makes a tiny splat. Honestly, concerningly sized for a baby mosquito. Makes me concerned about the existence of larger mosquitoes. But we won't need to worry about that. At least not right here. They drop bones. And then sometimes nothing, sometimes cards. And the cards is definitely the reason we want to be here. They drop fist cards, which are actually useful for doing all of the sorcery stuff. Train up some magic at some point here. And those are not really used in the rituals. So it's mainly just sorcery stuff, which we have level 1 in still. So we could definitely improve that somewhat. And also nature cards, which don't do anything. But with the number of these guys we're going to need to fight to get 16 strength and defense, probably like 13,000 XP there, 78 at a time. We're gonna end up with quite a few cards. It might just be worthwhile keeping the nature cards in the bank. We will see how many cards in total we can get here from 2 entire levels at mosquitoes. And also bones. Let's get in some bones. We're a very long ways from level 11 piety. That's for sure. So, fist cards, nature cards, and that's pretty much it. There's also a 1 in 20 proboscis, which doesn't do anything and sells for 1 coin. So I guess we can pick those up. Why not? Sell them to the shop on the way back to the bank or something. But if we have a full inventory, it's not really worth bothering with. It's especially not worth going and doing a trip to the bank. That'd be unnecessary for a single coin. Oh, we hit a 10 there. That's pretty good. So yeah. I think we're still going to stick with the gladiator sword and not switch to the warhammer. Just to be tankier and not have to do as many bank runs and everything. And it's really only slightly worse anyways, so this'll do. This will do nicely. Well, there is 18 vitality. So that's something. Now things that can hit 6s would have to max every time to kill us in 1 round of combat. It's 3 rounds, 1 round, whatever you want to call that. Either way, another health, that is always good. So we can possibly survive slightly more. Except against all the things that could still one-hit us. So, that's something else. Better, though. It's better. And here is, once we hit, 16 strength. Amazing. Switch over to defensive. Very good. If we wanted to, we could go get the special quality food, since our strength is now higher. But we've literally eaten 1 piece of food for that level, so I think we'll be fine. Not really worth the trip to the bank, honestly. So let's just keep fighting the mosquitoes. And 1 final mosquito here. Once we finish the kill for 16 defense. And that is not the right way to get up to the bank here. Let's go. And that is all the skills 16, and therefore 16 combat. Brilliant. And now, we're level 16 combat. We're going to continue on to fight level 16 opponents. But first, let us bank some stuff here. Specifically, the cards that we got. Ended up getting 97 fist cards and 86 nature cards. That's pretty good. From those 2 levels there. It's our fist card total up to 236. It's not bad at all. Alright. Got some more potato planners for Trip. Yeah, I think we are just going to keep the nature cards here. That's a decent enough pile to consider that probably worthwhile. That'll work. That'll work. And we do currently have enough bank space we can work with that, so that should be good. That should be good. And level 16, we've got options. Many options. Most of them are not very good, so we can kind of immediately ignore and cross those off the list of things we want to fight. We do have some good choices here. First thing that looks a lot like these Shadow Stalker gremlins. It is a famished gremlin. They drop bones, different kind of bones that you can't bury and are not worth much of anything, and demonic cards, which don't do anything. So, not a immediate priority to get more cards that don't do anything, taking up bank space. So, I'm not going to go fight famished gremlins. Next, we've got some forgotten guys. The Forgotten Messenger, which was felt like more of just the quest enemy for getting the various journal entries. There's multiple levels of the Messenger, but first is the level 16 one, which doesn't really drop anything of note, so not gonna do that. There's also the Forgotten Foot Soldiers, also in that same dungeon north of Zamock. They drop some low quality bronze, and the ore is required, also in low quality. So, definitely not too interested in a bunch of low quality stuff, so not gonna worry about that. Next up, there are regular crabs, not along the river, or they're in a different section. They're in the river dungeon. We might have popped in and seen them, and then immediately ran away while exploring there. They don't drop much of anything of interest. Various non-used ingredients. An old shoe. 3 coins. Definitely not what we're looking for. We want to get the most out of our combat training here. Actually get something worthwhile. We could go kill a bunch of vegetable farmers. They, unsurprisingly, drop a whole bunch of vegetables. Got potatoes, greens, onions, cucumbers, tomatoes, corn, and sometimes a few earth cards, but not enough to be too excited about. Those guys are even further north of Zamock, so also much further away from a bank, which is also something we need to consider. Next, there is the armored goblins. Very specific. Not the armored goblins with a mace or the armored goblins with a helmet. These ones drop a few ores, a bronze sheet, and the bronze plate leg recipe, which we would have gone for if we needed to make bronze plate legs, but we already have them. And if we didn't just randomly find the bronze plate leg recipe lying on the ground. So, not really what we need. They drop a bunch of random bits that are worth a few coins, but nothing to get excited about. And also apparently a hairstyle high ponytail recipe. Very rare. Hairstyles. That's also a thing. Wild. Next up is red frogs. They drop a red marble, which I think we need for a quest. So we'll be able to do that at our leisure. They also drop water cards, decent amount, but not enough to be excited about, really. They're also in the dark forest, so quite the ways away from a bank, really. There are better options, for sure. Also in the dark forest, we've got orange foxes. We can use the shortcut into the dark forest to get there more quickly. So that's at least slightly better. The orange foxes drop departed foxes, to no surprise. And we already have some departed foxes from lower level foxes. So that would stack in the bank at least. But we are nowhere close to being able to use departed foxes. The butchery requirement for that is 20. And we've got 14. No, what we want for butchery is something a little bit more exactly that level exactly. And that leads us to the final enemy. We've seen it around the game, dreamed of fighting it one day, and that day has finally come. Going to bank most of the food here. Shouldn't take too many hits, because we're going to go fight mega chickens. Just delightful of a thing. They drop departed mega chicken, which is just fantastic. And then we can butcher that into raw chicken and feathers for quite a good amount of experience. And many bits too, as it is a mega chicken. The chicken can then be used to make chicken. Shocking. And then the chicken can become a chicken and potato dish. Nice and simple. Heals 3, 4, 6. So, acceptable. Also, while we're here, we can turn in some dew again. Always worthwhile. And we just shy of being able to purchase the last one here for the week. Very good. The mega chickens should be over around here somewhere. I think that other person might have been fighting them. They might want to go to the other world. We'll see if they come back. Mega chickens. Look at him. Probably tastes like mega chicken. I'm sure. Let's see how much experience each of these is going to be. As we level up, things should be giving more experience in general. That's kind of the idea. But also, things give less experience per as we level up because they're weaker. 52.5 XP. That's not great. It's gonna be a lot of mega chickens. Because we need to get 8,100 experience in all 3 of the skills here. So that's a lot. Seems a bit lower than some of the other options were. That's interesting. Only like 50. I think the previous ones were given more than that. Yeah, the baby mosquitoes were 78 base. Which the mega chicken's 52. I guess you trade combat experience for all the resources from the departed mega chicken. is going to slow things down, though. Just a bit. And also having to bank, but shouldn't be the biggest problem here. Yeah, if we went for pretty much anything else, is way more experience. Like, the foxes would be 73. Pretty much everything else is in the 70-ish level. So the mega chickens are just straight up worse experience. So that's not ideal. That's okay though. Could be worse. It is more stuff for the future. So we got that going for us. Yeah. We're still on defensive. I guess we can go defensive first. That's fine too. Get over to the other food. Yeah, it looks like he's definitely fighting the mega chicken there. I guess the other question is going to be, can we have a world for mega chickens? We'll go check the other world. And this is definitely the best spot to fight them, so we will see. Another positive of mega chickens here. They drop big bones. Better than your regular bones. They give more experience and everything. And they are the lowest level monster that drops the big bones. Really does make sense. They are very big. Yeah. 15 experience per bone here. That is pretty good. Much, much more. Enough to get us to 11 piety. Not that piety does anything, but still. I will enjoy the vastly increased experience from this here. That is pretty good. Pretty good. Here is not a level, because we're obviously not at the mega chickens. But we literally needed one more, and I didn't want to leave a mega chicken on the ground. So, just gonna look at it here. There's 154 mega chickens. So once we get up here and kill one more, that is 155 for one level. And we have 2 more levels to get. So that is gonna be, that's gonna be an impressive amount of chicken by the time we're done with this. That's gonna be very, very good for a butchery level. See how much that is worth. That should be very solid. Very solid. Yeah, doing this is probably still the best choice. I don't think any of the other level 16 options would compare to getting all of this. Even though the experience in actual combat is not very good. It literally worse than the other options by a lot. Well, that's okay. It more than makes up for it with the piety and butchery and cooking and eventual food. So, it's gonna be fine. Probably. It is taking a little bit though. Can confirm. That's kind of what we're expecting as we keep leveling up here with the very, very steep rate of experience increase. There is 17 defense. And that means we can now use the special foods to give us slightly more healing. Realistically, it's not a huge deal either way, but since we have them, might as well use them. And we need to switch to different style here. Gonna go to attack next to keep defense higher the entire time here. See if we use like a handful of these lean rat and potato platters. We don't take a lot of damage, but it does slowly add up. So, that's okay. And the best spot I've found for fighting the mega chickens, there are like 3 spawns here, but 2 of them spawn over in this section, and the 3rd is a bit to the south, so right here is pretty much the optimal location. And it's not a lot of time between spawns most of the time. kill it, and then another one's right here. So running all the way to the third spawn would not be a worthwhile thing to do. It would make this even slower. And also slowing it down is the banking times to bring the departed mega chickens, but overall, probably still the best thing we could do here. And once piety does something, oh, we're gonna be in business. Here's the spawn down here. So yeah, right over here. So I'm gonna fight, if numbers are to be believed, another 150 mega chickens, give or take. But yeah, mostly exactly that many, since we're getting the same amount of experience in each of the skills here. So that's something. Also, recently got 250 total level. The level before that, so probably the vitality level, got us 250. So that's neat. It doesn't do anything for us or anything, but it's a nice number. So, I'm going to keep doing this for quite a while. Quite a while. Well, it's behind a bunch of trees, but here is a mega chicken that we're gonna get a level from. It's also an interesting time trying to pick up drops that are behind trees, because they're on this tile here. Just need to click it correctly. Anyways, 17 attack, amazing. Switch to strength, very good. That's the last level we need. So we're still higher in defense, so I don't need to change foods. That's perfect. We got 300 and a bit bits of mega chicken in the bank. That's gonna be a lot. And we're gonna get even more here too, since we have a whole nother level. 5,000 butcher XP? Should be good. We're gonna have like 450 of these things. And they give a decent amount of experience, from what I can see. So that'll work out nicely. But yeah. Also getting fairly close to some other levels here. See how that goes for us. Every level's good, and every level takes a very, very long time at this point. We're not helping the main combat styles with the lower experience here, of course, but that's fine. This is fine. Might even be faster getting the next levels when we move on to something that gives more experience. Even though it is way more experience, like 8,000 up to 9,600. If we're gonna be killing something that gives over 50% more experience, that's still faster. So, there you go. So yeah, it's gonna kill chickens for another hour plus. Not exactly timing it, but it's a while. It is a while. And that is why the episodes are being a little bit longer between them. It's taken a bit. And this is in fact not the only thing I'm doing. So, there you go. Here is 12 piety. Still doesn't do anything, but still, another level. Yay. I went to the southern mega chicken for this. It's going to decrease the time for the bank here. 17 strength. We're done here. As we would now get even less experience, as we are combat 17. And we can't be having that right now. I've been passing by these albino leeches. They're level 17. So those exist. We'll have to go to the bestiary, see what the best level 17 enemy will be. But that is a problem for later. For right now, we just need to get back to the bank, see our total number of departed mega chickens. We already have a pretty decent idea of roughly how many it's going to be. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot. But we'll see the exact numbers. We have 465. Alright. That's going to be a lot of butcher experience at some point here. We've also got 43 rats, 20 foxes, 133 pigs. The only problem with all of that is bank space, of course. Because there's the whole regular, lean, and fatty everything. So, if we used all of these, we would get just a bunch more things. Technically, we could use the rats and get just regular stuff. If we get all the plates and get more potatoes and do all the extra steps. But for now, that's enough of that. Don't need all that food quite yet anyways. So, might just continue on by some level 17 things. See what our options might be. Next time. Goodbye.